Greetings and salutation, happy Halloween! Normally I would be wearing a costume for this, but, like, I guess I wasn't really planning on doing anything tonight, so, But this time I'm looking at a film from the character Popeye. I don't think we're looking at that Popeye. Although I do love the shorts. Yeah, that one. We're looking at Popeye's Revenge. So yeah, this film is in the same category as films like that Bambi movie. They also have the Winnie the Pooh movies and all. All that, and also the Peter Pan movie. But this one is after Popeye went to public domain. This was also the third of a Popeye films that were made into live action, such as Popeye the Slayer Man and Shiver Me Timbers. So what was Popeye's Revenge about? Well, it tells the story of Popeye, as a young child, and in a way they say, we have a story similar to Jason, and in a way, he is, he lives on a area like a lake houses, and then ever so often, say, okay, a group of college kids come down and basically are just trying to fix up the old house that Popeye once lived in.
Is that the house?
Yeah, why is it clean?
Me and Dad have been coming out this way once a month to do some cleaning, chat through some ideas for the place.
This is some creepy shit. I don't want to sleep in there.
Wait, what? I'm not sleeping there.
It's okay.
So then they can restore it to make it a haunted spook attraction. Oh gosh, I would love to go to this thing again. I would love to go to Halloween Horror Nights. I'm going to say this. I think the way the film opens up with the animated sequence, I think that's really great. I like the animation art style that they're going for it. They did it also in the the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movies.
It wasn't long before the townsfolk saw the child escaping.
They did that. And yeah, I kind of like it how that little art style. And as the film begins, we have a group of characters that we are introduced to, that are say, okay, you're having a group of teens or adults who they're sort of in the vein of say characters that you would have seen in Friday the 13th, who are just wanting to camp or stay at this lake and
Keep the camera rolling. Let's try something different.
Kinky. Come on, keep talking dirty.
And all that. And I'm going to say the death sequence for the opening of the film are pretty... They are just ridiculous. Eventually we transition to after the title card, we transition to you could say a new group of characters who a mom is basically telling her daughter, like, say, hey, the characters of Tara, Dylan, Donna, and they inherit the house that Popeye lived in, and they basically say, okay, we're gonna invite some of our friends to go down to this place to help, fix it up. And you have some usual characters that are just like, say, the almost stoner dude. You also have, like, say, some characters that are, the stereotypical, like, douchebag kind of characters that are in these slasher films. Yeah, they are honestly considered a staple in the slasher genre. And I'm gonna say this: I think that one thing that, even if you didn't like the film Screamboat, which was, like, the film that was a slasher adaptation of Steamboat Willie, I have to say, like, yes, that film at least gave, like, the spooky version of, like, like, Steamboat Willie. It made him, like, say, it still had that mischievous charm that we remember of, Steamboat Willie from the original short. With this, we barely get much personality out of Popeye. And honestly, you could even change the character's name because, like, yes, you have the full-grown forearm kind of thing. That you have that, and at the same time, like, there are moments where he's, like, smoking a little pipe. At the same time, like, we really don't get much personality for the character of Popeye. He doesn't really say anything. He does not give much of a, like a vocal performance, I would say, besides, like, grunting. And we also have the character of Olive Oil. She appears in this film. Like, she basically says, like, say, hey, like, what you guys doing here? What you guys doing here? This.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do, bitch?
That's not what I'll do.
Let's be real here. It's 7 against 1, and you can't call anyone because we're not doing anything wrong.
It's my house and all that. And I'm gonna say, like, say, yes, one thing they also have in this film, like, say, you have the usual, like, say, moments of, like, say, the characters are, like, having moments of the sex parties. Then again, you have moments like, say, have, like, say, some characters, like, say, there's a hot tub sequence where, like, one character is, like, he's interested in the character of Sky, and I'm gonna say, like, that moment where he's, like, say, he's just, like, say, okay, yeah, he does not seem to be giving her his total interest.
Maybe I do want to get caught.
What are you doing?
You don't tell her. I will.
The fuck you will.
Watch me.
Okay then. We're done. We're done. Sky, whatever we had is over.
And I'm just thinking, like, say, yes, dude, you are indeed a pussy. I mean, there's no word to use besides that. But wait, folks that are probably probably, like, a bit. But please don't be saying that word. It's probably not a good idea. After which, like, say you have, like, say, the death of the character of Sky. And I do. Here's the thing. I like the fact that Popeye has a giant anchor he sometimes uses as a weapon. It's pretty cool. But at the same time, it does make me upset because the poster of the film is him on a boat. Yet there's no moments where he's on a boat. So that ruffles my feathers and all that. After which, everyone's going to say, well, what happened to Sky? Where'd she go? And all that. And all that. And, all the characters are going to say, well, this was a situation. So, you have more moments of characters being slaughtered by Popeye, aka Johnny. And some of them are just say, okay, this is just being silly. There's even a moment where he just sees a spinach candy goes say, and oh Jesus Christ. After which, more you have, I think in the most gruesome death sequence though is I think it's the character of Donna, how she ends up getting killed by Popeye using a riding mower, I believe. That's crazy. And then one thing but after all this is going on, the parents of the mother of Tara, she ends up showing up and basically saying hey, yeah, I was the teacher of Popeye and all that, and all the kids were terrible to him and all that. Suddenly we've turned into the Grinch with Jim Carrey and all that. So, but you have some. Well, eventually they go and say, well, shoot, we need to take Popeye on. Not. He eventually kills the character of his Tara's mother, and I'm gonna say one moment where they had the worst effect is the death sequence for the character of Olive, in which he gets burned and all that. Such an awful effect. After, yep. You get some more big fight sequences and all that, and it's just big tussles and all that. Big tussles. Which leads into a final conflict between the character of Tara and Popeye, in which she uses a lawnmower on him. And we're just saying, yay, all the characters have survived. They're gonna survive. They're gonna see a new day. They hug. They embrace. And all that. Happy endings. But at the same time, you're probably feeling, is there a jump scare in this movie? Is there another, finally, blah, blah, and all that? Because there's always one of those, gotcha kind of moments. And there is. Where we think, that the villain, he didn't survive. Yes. I'm gonna say this. This is highly entertaining. Is it bad? Yes. I wish this film could have done more, had more moments, where it could have been more goofy, like Popeye, eating his spinach, and he going to say, he goes, burr, 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 and then he goes, burr, and all that. That would have been fun. Or you could have had a character named Bluto. I mean, if you're going to use the Popeye IP, use it. Come on. I bet one of the other Popeye movies used the character of Bluto. Or Sweet. Or maybe the other characters from the, IP. I don't know. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween! Merry Christmas!
What's this?
What's this?
I haven't got a clue.
What's this?
Why, it's completely new.
Happy Halloween.